Okay, so I left off. I didn't want to make like a super long video, but sorry. Trying to give as much detail as possible, as I mentioned at the beginning of the first video, for people to know what it is to have COVID-19, what it is to have the symptoms, and the very hard decisions you had to make, not just for yourself, but for your loved ones that are caring for you and, that are very worried about you. So, have a tissue now, so I'm not touching my face with my hands. So yes, so that's the first day. I did not sleep at all that night. I mean, it's impossible because I was so afraid that the minute I would close my eyes, I was gonna die in my sleep. That's it. So I stay up. I pray to God. For the only thing that I could think of, I was reciting. A lot of you know this. My favorite psalm on the Bible is Psalm 91, and I was reciting it over and over in my head in Spanish, actually, because my grandmother from my dad's side of the family, when I was very young, she kind of made me memorize it as a kid. I thank her. I love my grandmother. And she made me memorize Psalm 91, and that's what I was reciting in my head. While I was gasping for air, trying to control my breathing, trying not to freak out. My dad is on the other side of the door. I had to lock myself because as a father, no one wants to see their child suffer. And my poor dad didn't sleep either. Of course he's not gonna sleep. Knowing that something might happen to me. There were many times where I grabbed my phone and I'm like about to call 911, because there were moments that I felt like the heaviness on my chest, the heaviness in my lungs. I could feel everything. I could feel literally everything, every breath that I was fighting for. I could feel how my chest hurt so much, my ribs hurt so much. The fever, was like, at that time, like I said, did not have a thermometer, and very grateful that one of my sweet neighbors, had lent me a thermometer, so I was able to check my fever next day, and my fever was as high as 104.8. I was shaking when chills. I don't know if it was cold. I mean, it was just me shaking. My entire body was shaking. I kind of slept, if you call that sleeping, sitting up on my bed. And that's how I slept for about a week and a half. My lower back is hurting so much. My back is killing me, I could lay down now. I could lay down during the day, but I was so scared of going to sleep, even on my side. Usually I sleep facing up. I sleep on my back, so obviously I couldn't do that. So I did not sleep at all. I wake up in the morning about like 6 in the morning. I would go to the bathroom and I felt nauseous. I threw up whatever food I had from like the day before. I was so dizzy. I went to the bathroom holding on to things, with my gloves on, because I was so worried. Thank God we have 2 bathrooms in my apartment, so, but as precaution, I wanted to make sure I'm not touching anything with my hands, because even though I'm in my room and I didn't have a mask in my room, because I could barely breathe, and with a mask I would have suffocated. So I was coughing. The cough that I had was very dry. But what bothered me obviously the most, it wasn't even the cough, it was the fact that I couldn't breathe. The heaviness on my chest. So I went to the bathroom, threw up. I came back to my room like completely out of it, dizzy. The room was spinning. I sat down on my bed. I was looking at I had things hung on my wall, like pictures and stuff like that. And everything, like I noticed how the pictures looked a little blurry. I was like, my fever was so high, I was like seeing things, my vision got a bit blurry. I started getting nauseous. It was the fever, it was the fact of not breathing, also because of the breathing, the forced breathing. That's why I was getting lightheaded. That's what the paramedics told me about this. So now this is Sunday. Sorry. So that was Saturday, going to Sunday morning. I had like hundreds of calls, messages, texts over, my phone, social media, So I apologize if I didn't reply to all of you. Obviously I couldn't. That's why I've been doing those daily Facebook updates for everyone to see, so I can kind of just share like a big update so you guys can see how I'm doing. Like even texting will get me exhausted or anything. My poor dad didn't sleep. He asked me if I wanted something to eat. He did some oatmeal, and he left it on my door. I told him to go away. I picked it up. I ate like a little bit of it. Like 10 minutes later, I was vomiting the thing, so I couldn't keep anything down. I had Gatorade, so I just started drinking a bunch of Gatorade, water. I felt dehydrated, and it was just me in my bed, tossing and turning. I didn't know whether to sit up, to stand up, to walk. Just walking from my bed to the door, it was like walking miles. And one thing that I at that time, the only thing that kept me sane, like I said, it was me praying to God, me holding on to my faith. Many of you know my faith is the center of my life. Christ is my rock, and I thank God that He has given me another chance to be here sharing this video with you guys, because if it wasn't for His mercy and grace, I will not be here. And I thank all the amazing nurse friends that I have, doctor friends. A good friend of mine, David, he referred me to his friend Jen, who's a nurse. She's amazing. And I was in contact with her. She was like, you gotta, she's the one that called me, you gotta call 911. She walked me through the whole thing. It's people like Jen, people like Sila, people like Kelly, people like Linda, this amazing selfless nurses. And I have more nurse friends on Facebook and social media that I believe that they're like guardian angels in your life that God puts in your path. And I was listening to them, and like, they were such a huge source of strength and friendship and encouragement for me to fight this virus. So one of the tips that I can start giving people who are scared, or they're going through this, or they know someone's going through this: do not let this virus isolate you. Yes, you can be in isolation. You have to be in isolation. If you decide not to go to a hospital, stay in your room, isolate yourself, protect your loved ones, but do not isolate emotionally or spiritually from people, because you will need them. We were created as social beings, and it is not in our nature to be cut off from the world, from human interaction, even if it's from a distance. So one of the big things that I can definitely advocate is, please reach out. People will reach out to you, but if someone doesn't know you're sick, it's okay. Like, if you don't want to bother people, if you don't want people to think that you're being dramatic or anything, forget about what people think. Go and reach out to your friends and family. They will care for you. So big shout out to my nurse friends and all my other friends that were there for me. I know they were like so worried about me. Friends from all over the world, my family members, from Florida, from Miami, from like Europe, from like everywhere, from Japan, from everywhere. They were calling me. And I know that this is a virus that you have to fight. When the remedies that they tell you to have, Tylenol. I was taking Tylenol for the headache, Tylenol for the pain, Tylenol for the fever. Definitely hydrate. If you think you're drinking enough water, and you think you're drinking enough Gatorade or Pedialyte, you're not. Keep drinking. If you think you're full of fluid, you're not. You just gotta keep drinking and drinking and drinking, especially if you're vomiting, especially if you had like diarrhea, bad stomach. I mean, I couldn't keep anything down for days. And so you just gotta, fight it. But sorry, sometimes I go all over the place. But as I was saying before, keep your loved ones and your friends closer. They will help you. So you need to, you cannot let this virus win. You cannot let this thing win. Because if you allow yourself to be emotionally, you're already physically isolated. So if you allow yourself to be emotionally, psychologically, spiritually isolated, you're done. I will tell you this, and this has nothing to do with whether if you're religious or not, whether, I don't care. We're all human beings, and we all need to feel, that we're connected somehow to people. There's no one in this world that can say like, oh, I can just live by myself and never speak to anyone, because it will kill you. So imagine being sick and being isolated from people that can, give you support and like walk you through it. So I'm very thankful to all my nurse friends. My new friend Jen, who's a nurse, amazing human being. She suffered through it as well, and it's good for you to keep in contact with people like her, people like the people I mentioned as well, that they will like walk you through it, that they will like make sure that you fight this. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 will be, as I was reading, everything that's going on in the world with this global pandemic, super scary. There's so much fake news going around, a lot of people who are just saying nonsense, people who are scared, people who are just saying things because I don't know, they want to say things. I mean, I tried everything, every single message that my dad will get, it will send it to me through WhatsApp. I was like, Dad, I'm not gonna eat a head of garlic. All that. I'm like, first of all, I will like so nauseous right now. I cannot eat garlic right now. I hate garlic too. Just FYI. So like, try this, try that, but I tried everything. Everything that they were telling me to drink, to have, I was doing it. For the sore throat, for the coughing, it will bring me some relief. I was drinking ginger tea with honey and lemon, and then I have chamomile tea with honey and lemon. I mean, any herbal tea with honey and lemon. I mean, I had so much lemon, but here's the other thing. My taste buds and my sense of smell was gone, so everything tasted like water to me. I don't care. I could be drinking anything, and it would just be like water. I couldn't smell. I couldn't taste. It was horrible. So everything that they would tell me to take, I would do it. I mean, there's no harm in that. As long as, please do not drink Purell, and please do not drink bleach, and, so many crazy things that people send you over WhatsApp, like, do not do that. So anything that is drinkable for a human being and that it's not going to kill you, there's no harm in trying it, but yeah, I seen a lot of people, saying like, if you drink, like Purell, or like, no, that's like those crazy people that were like eating Tide Pods. So please do not do it. So I did that. Other thing I did, I read, actually, I don't remember if it was in the New York Times, but first of all, please listen to the experts. Please listen to the experts, healthcare professionals. Not crazy politicians, not crazy people that are trying to use this as for their own agenda. Listen to the healthcare professionals, doctor, nurses, scientists. Please listen to them. Sorry, I'm getting these annoying messages. So, and I'm sorry, they're like annoying messages. They're like spam emails. I don't know, like, I don't know why I'm getting this. But yes, please listen to the healthcare professionals and thank them every day. The best way that you can be grateful to all our health heroes is by staying home. And I cannot stress this enough. please stay home. If you don't have any business, and I know some of you are going to get pissed off at me, and you know what? I don't give a shit. Sorry, I don't care. Because it is so frustrating to see, and it's so angering, you know. Like I said, I have a lot of nurse friends that they have called me now that I'm better, and they have broke down crying. You know, they're tired of putting people, young people like me, in their 20s, in their 30s, in body bags. Just hours before they were fine, and now they're putting them in body bags. And the emotional, psychological toll that it's taking all our nurses and doctors, all the people that are in hospital, is horrible. So if you are complaining and bitching and moaning about, oh my God, I cannot stay home because I gotta go and take pictures of the park or how beautiful it looks, you know, and like walking around in a group of people, then you are a selfish jerk. You are. And especially, and I'm gonna like crack down in Christians right now, especially if you say that you're a Christian, you're not loving your neighbor. It's not about saying, oh, hashtag I love my neighbor, but then you're being a selfish jerk and going outside and putting yourself at risk and putting others at risk. Only because you think you're young. Look at me, young and healthy. You know, this virus does not discriminate about age or gender or, you know, ethnicity. Trust me, it will get you. And worse than that, it can get people that you love. So please stay home. I know, listen, I'm going crazy being inside my room. I've been in my room for 2 weeks. Cannot leave my room. And it's not that I'm bitter or I'm sour about, oh no, I can't go out. No, it's not about that. It's about you being responsible and not being a selfish human being. You want this whole thing to end? Please listen to the authorities. You know, please listen to the healthcare professionals. And I cannot stress that enough. If you have an emergency, if you want to go to a grocery store, I mean, go ahead. You know, I try having things delivered to my house. I finally got the delivery through Instacart. It only took 6 days to get here, but it got here. Grocery places, supermarkets, they're not running out of food. Thank God. We are so blessed to live in this country. We are so blessed to live in the United States. So please, if you want to continue having these freedoms and these liberties, do your part as an American, as a U.S. citizen, as a resident, as someone that lives here, and protect your fellow Americans. Protect your people. Protect everyone, you know. We're all in this together now. I know it sounds so cliche, but we are in all this together, you know. And like I said, some of you might get annoyed at me or pissed off and delete me or block me. I don't give a crap. You know, if you have no business being at the park, you know, if you want to go and like have a 20-minute run, you know, they're not closing down the parks yet. They closed down the playgrounds. But if you're just there with a couple of people just taking pictures because, oh my God, the weather's so beautiful. Like, no. Stop yourself. Think for a little bit. Use your brain and think that you might be putting yourself at risk and others. So please just stay home. You know, like, we want this shit to be over. You gotta do your part. I'm doing my part. Even if I'm like, okay, right now, I am staying home. The doctor said today, he told me that I can go out and get some exercise to like my lungs, and I'm still not going out. He told me to like, you know, like, you still have to wear your mask, wash your hands, you know. If you go outside, make sure that you wash your clothes. Definitely that you clean your shoes. Do not walk inside your house on the shoes that you were walking outside, you know, all of these things. So you just gotta protect yourself. I don't mean to be preaching to you guys. I don't mean to be, you know, saying, I'm holier than thou, or that I like know better than anyone. All I can tell you is that this shit is real. This virus will kill you, and you need to think about your loved ones. and it is pissing me off seeing a lot of you, not just in New York, in any other states, in my family that is in other countries, especially what's happening in Spain and Italy. These people have been in quarantine for like over a month, and they're more disciplined about it. And a lot of you are just gallivanting around, riding your bikes, doing this, doing that, taking videos, and like standing next to like a group of like 5 people there without mask. This might sound harsh, but a lot of you, and who you are, a lot of you who are taking this as a joke and saying, oh no, it's just the flu, it's just like the flu. No, screw you. This is not just like the flu. Trust me, I had the flu before, twice in my life. And I never had to pray to God Almighty and to the entire court of heaven not to take me. Because I was so worried about my dad and my great aunt and my mom. I had never experienced grabbing my chest, grabbing my throat, doing anything. I will get up, I will like kneel down, I will walk. The desperation of gasping for air. Definitely will not take breathing for granted ever again. Every breath that I take, every breath you take is a blessing. And like I said, I don't mean to be sounding like a jerk or like a know-it-all or anything, or reprimanding anyone, but this is no joke. A lot of you asked me to make this video, and that's what I'm doing. If you like it, if you don't like it, it's fine. If you want to share it, but this is the harsh reality. This is no joke. And if you get this virus, and God forbids you don't, I'm praying for all of you that are watching this. Every member of your family, your extended family, we had to be in this together. We got to pray for one another. We got to lift each other up. We got to educate ourselves. You got to don't go crazy. I know it is so frustrating. It's so, depressing seeing all the number of deaths go up, the number of cases. I know it is. So for that, I do have a piece of advice, turn off the TV. Turn off your smartphone, turn off your tablet, go and do something that does not have COVID-19 on it. By this point, probably a lot of us are like sick and tired of like binge watching Netflix. But, do something else, work out at home. I don't know, cook. I don't know, watch a YouTube video on how to make, I don't know, pasta or something, You have to maintain your sanity. Keep yourself sane. Turn off the news. It's horrible out there. I know it is. It was driving me nuts. There was a point where, I was, sitting in my bed and like looking at the number of deaths go up in New York City. And the images of doctors and nurses crying, pleading, looking up to heaven, pleading to God to have mercy on us. It is so heartbreaking seeing, images of New York City, hearing about police officers, hearing about NTA workers, dying of this thing. It's heartbreaking. Knowing that after this is over, God willing, it is over soon, that a lot of the conductors, especially in New York City, a lot of our NTA conductors, a lot of our NYPD officers will not be out there because they didn't make it. It is heartbreaking. A lot of our doctors and nurses that have given their lives as a sacrifice to fight this virus won't be out there. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to my friends, to all of you. I'm so grateful for every prayer, every thought, every, good energy vibe, every picture, song, every single thing you have sent to me. I will forever, ever be grateful to all of you. So just please, I beg you, do your part. This is no joke. I see a lot of posts as well, people reporting, oh my God, my professor died, someone from my church died. I mean, it is heartbreaking. And and I'm there, I'm with you in your pain. I found out one of my fellow seminarians from school, his dad is in the hospital fighting this thing. It hits you close to home. I found out some of my friends from my church, a Redeemer, thank God, they survived this thing. But just knowing that people that you see every day, people that you work with, people that you go to a park with, you go to a gym with, you go to church with, you go out with, people, just regular people in your life, you might not see them again when this is over. So just please think about that. Think about the things, the actions that you do. I am planning after, like I said, tomorrow's the 14th day. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's the 14th day. I am planning, God willing, once my doctor gives me the full clear, which he said he is. My dad is super healthy, so he should be returning to work by Sunday. His doctor's gonna send a note, so he's on the clear. Thank God, he's healthy and strong. He's an essential worker. He's considered essential worker because he works in maintenance for a building. He's a painter, so he needs to go out there, and thank God he doesn't take public transportation. He just walks to work. So just please be mindful, like I said, of every decision that you make, because you don't want to be responsible, because you don't know, you might have this thing, and you might be an asymptomatic carrier, and you don't know, and you can infect someone that might have a underlying condition, and you might be responsible for that person's sickness or death. So just please be mindful and look out for one another. This virus, everything that's happening in the world right now, is teaching us to look for one another, to be together, to be united, to be just there for each other. And I miss everything. I miss my church friends, I miss my gym buddies, I miss just even going to a cafe, and like going to a supermarket, and just grabbing anything without being so paranoid, oh my God, I'm gonna get something, like going to the movie theater, all the things that being in the platform, and like being annoyed that the 2 trains skipped my station. I miss that. I miss all those things, and talking as a New Yorker, so for those of you that are not from New York, you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but yeah, just being the platform, the subway, and like, seeing the annoying performers, like, it's showtime, even that, I miss it so much, people, being annoyed in a Monday morning, people being, pushing each other in the subway. You will think that that's something that you will not miss. You will miss this, because we need each other. We're all connected. We all are. This is not about the time to be thinking about politics or religious belief or anything. We are all human. We are all people. And we need to be together and strong with this. This virus is not just something that attacks your body. It attacks your mind. It attacks your core being, because it makes you down. And the minute you start doubting, and the minute that you start like, oh, okay, I'm gonna die, you need to fight it. I don't care. It's like fighting your worst enemy, because you're fighting for your life. So do not give up. If I can make it, any of you can make it, if you decide to stay home. And you're not alone. I'm here. I'll be working from home, God willing, starting next week, even limited hours, because I'm still recovering. But if anyone wants someone to talk to, someone to listen, someone to vent, here I am. Text me, call me, and I will gladly, give you a bit of my time to catch up and speak with you. Love you.